Okay, so I want to do two things. I want to make the patch 14.10 ADC tier list, and then I also want to make essentially like going over the build for every single champ, but it's going to be two separate sections, and then it'll be two different YouTube videos. So say hello to YouTube if you want. Hey YouTube. Nice. So this will be going on YouTube. And what I was thinking, is that we do the first ADC tier list, and then we go over the builds for every champ. I want to preface this though by two things. One, it's very early on in the patch. Anybody that says they have fully figured out the meta, fully figured out the builds, are lying to you. Because it's just impossible to know. There's builds that haven't been tested, there's champions that people haven't played enough, and it's just hard to get a fully accurate picture. But nonetheless, I think through my experience of playing the game a lot, and being a challenger player for many, many years, and being a pro player for many, many years, and being at the top of the solo queue ladder and the pro play scene for a while now, I can, have some pretty good educated guesses about where the champions' strengths lie, what builds will be good, and also what champions will be good.
Doesn't get better than this.
So first of all, I want to start off with Corki. My initial impressions with Corki was that he was very good, and he ended up having a really bad win rate, but he got hotfix buffed. You can find the Freak post here. My man Freak gave Corki a hotfix buff, a pretty big buff, 20 more damage on Q at max rank, and you max it first, and 50% bonus AD ratio on E, and 10% R bonus AD ratio, and Essence River got buffed, which is kind of his standard, I think, first item. So I'm pretty sure that Corki right now is going to be pretty strong, lying in between either B+ or A tier. I think, as I don't have full confidence on it, I think B+, this is live right now. He posted this, it'll be live in an hour, and he posted that 14 hours ago. So that's live. It's pretty natural that his win rate isn't the best. Builds still haven't been fully figured out. Maybe there's a better build than this, right? And maybe like even, maybe Emax is better than Qmax, maybe even. Like there's a lot of things that could be wrong that people are doing. Right? And then we have Jinx. I think Jinx, for me, is a champion that seems like she's just gonna always be kind of good in solo queue for a while now. Even after these changes where I thought she would be really mediocre, her win rate has stayed relatively consistently high, and maybe even risen slightly. Okay, no, it hasn't risen. It went down a bit. Still pretty good. I think going Kraken first is kind of bait. I think going IE first should be better. But overall, I feel pretty confident putting her into B+ or B tier. I think she lies in between here. I don't think she can quite touch the ranks of A or S, but she just remains a really strong, solid solo queue pick. And I think if you're low elo, you can definitely, like, in low elo, she's just always going to be good for the simple reason that all she needs is someone to die in a team fight, and she's super strong, right? In low elo, people will die faster because they'll play worse. So you get resets faster and you're way stronger. Then we have Draven. I think Draven is still S tier. So Draven also got hotfix nerfed. He got 30 less gold, base gold on his passive, and 0.5 less per adoration stack, and 5 less damage on his Q. Pretty big nerfs, so you could argue that he should fall into S tier, or fall into A tier now, from S tier. But I do think that still, with the new items, if people start building correctly and go BT every game, this champion is just unreal right now. I think unreal. I really think when I played the BT Rush Draven, it reminded me of the good old days. Like, where you can't, like, you can stay on the map forever because you just have so much lifesteal that you can take, like, you can go to 100 HP and you got a full HP on one wave. Bloodthirster first. It's 80 AD. It's just insane. I think Draven's, for me, still remains an S tier. Definitely one of the most annoying champions to face, as like you can't really poke him out anymore with BT, and you have to all in him, and then that's Draven's comfort zone. I think like with the Yasuo and Yone, for me, I really think both of these champions are pretty bad right now. Some people were telling me that like they should be happy because the crit changes, but I think I could even put them into C tier. To be honest, I could even put them into C tier. Like they lost lethal tempo, they lost the real first item, so they have to go some dog shit. Like if you go IE first item on Yasuo, I just think it's so bad. I guess PD first item could be decent, but I mean people that are building Kraken or Bork maybe are trolling a bit, I'm not sure. But at least I think he's B tier, maybe even C tier. We can keep him in B tier. I'm fine with that, but I definitely do think he's weaker. I think he suffered a lot from lethal tempo removal, and also like just not having kind of access to the same items that he had last patch. Just kind of sucks for Yasuo. I think losing shield bow is a big blow for both Yasuo and Yone. Like, technically shield bow is still in the game, right? But the new shield bow, I think it's pretty bad, and we're not gonna see people building it until like 3rd or 4th item, and it's like very situational. So Hwei is a mage that I always liked a lot in bot lane. I actually have kind of no clue where Hwei slots in right now. If he's a good user of Blackfire Torch, he could definitely be strong. Because Blackfire Torch is a new mage item, and it is really OP. And I could see Hwei being pretty decent with it. It doesn't matter if I show Hwei bot stats, then you just get a really... Like, nobody plays Hwei bot, right? But Hwei bot is really underrated. I think Hwei bot and Karthus bot are probably like the two... I guess Brand bot as well. I think that Hwei falls into A tier. He's still a really good mage option. If you like playing Aphelios, you should play Hwei. For me, at least, I feel like they feel kind of similar. Hwei is like a mage version of Aphelios. That's a vibe I get. I feel like the art, the like aesthetic, and also just the overall like complexity of the gameplay feels pretty good. I know I got a lot of Aphelios enjoyers in the audience, so I think Hwei would pick up. Then we have Kog'Maw. A lot of people have asked me to play Kog'Maw, but I actually haven't played Kog'Maw yet. I'm not sure where I really want to slot him in. In my head, he should be kind of the same because the on-hit items didn't change that much. Vork is a bit different of an item, but I think it's still kind of the same. I think not much changed that much. Like if we look at his win rate, well, maybe we can't look at his win rate, but you know, I think he remains the same. Maybe B tier though, or low B plus. I do think Caitlyn or Jinx and Corki are definitely quite a bit stronger than him. He did lose lethal tempo, that's true. Maybe B tier, maybe B tier. Then we have Jhin. For me, Jhin is A or S tier. I think Jhin is really fucking good, benefits so much off of these new items. He's one of the most played ADCs, if not the most played ADC, alongside Jinx, while having a really good win rate across elos and just overall performing very well, I think. I think IE first is really good. Collector first is fine if they're squishy, and then you just go like the other one that you bought, or you go rapid fire second if they're like kind of tanky. And then I think even like going LDR third or Yuntal third, something like that's gonna be really good. I don't know if I want to put him S tier though. I think A tier feels more appropriate. Feels really good, but I don't know about S tier. Does Yuntal bleed work on Jhin ult? I don't know, but I don't think so. Then we have Aphelios, my beloved. I think at first when I played Aphelios, I thought he wasn't that good. And then I played some more Aphelios, and I just got like stacked AD, and then I thought he felt really fucking good. And now I feel like Aphelios is A tier. He's definitely like weaker than Jhin, but definitely a step above Jinx and Corki, I feel like. And I do think this is a champion at higher MMRs that benefits a lot. But in lower elo, people just don't win on him. So for you guys, if you're not an Aphelios player, like just treat Aphelios like he's C tier. Because statistically, you're very likely or unlikely to do well on Aphelios. I don't know what it is, this champion. People just don't win on it. People just do not win on it, no matter what. But I think it's fucking OP. Maybe a big reason why a lot of people are losing on it is because they are troll building. There's a lot of people going like fucking random ass items, like Kraken first, Yuntal first, BT first. You know, like if you're going IE first, which I think is the best as long as you can get it, you have near 50% win rate. Collector can be fine too, either of those two options. Or Aphelios for me, he's A tier, he's up there. He feels really good. He does insane damage. Just go like a few points into Q and start maxing E. Boom. You're gonna be one-shotting people. And there'll be you're gonna one-shot people. It's gonna be good. And also Yuntal is bugged with his red Q so that it procs the bleed at full effect on every proc. So it's like insane damage. Then we have Varus. So Varus for me is a champ kind of similar. I mean, actually Varus C tier? C tier? B tier? Varus. B or B, I think. Not the strongest right now. He lost lethal tempo. He doesn't really abuse crit items. You go on hit, I guess it's fine, but it's not insane. Pretty damn low win rate. Actually, one of the lowest win rate ADCs alongside Aphelios and Smolder. Yeah, maybe C. Maybe C, actually. Halo base got nerfed as well. I just don't know why I'd pick Varus right now. I mean, he still has a good early game, and he has good early with PTA. He's B tier, no? I don't think C tier. I feel like C tier is like really bad champs. But we can put him... I think in higher elo, it's B tier. In lower elo, it's C tier. So let's leave him in C tier for this time. Xayah. Xayah. She also lost a lot of win rates. I think she doesn't really have... She was a big Kraken enjoyer, right? Kraken on Xayah was a big spike. I don't know why this sometimes bugs out. She had like 51% win rate last patch, and now she has 48. I don't remember the exact numbers, but you know, I kind of got it in my head, you know, like I'm the statistician, I'm the stats guy, you know, like I look at the stats, I remember some of the win rates. She had a much better win rate, so I think maybe she falls into C tier alongside Varus, or maybe into B tier. It's a bit hard to say. She's maybe a bit happier now with Essence River buff. Essence River got 5 AD, which does help her out, but it's hard to play Xayah into a lot of these champions. Like, I wouldn't really want to play Xayah into Aphelios when Aphelios is going full one-shot build. I wouldn't really want to play Xayah into Jhin. Jhin is going full one-shot build. Like, everybody's just kind of one-shotting you, and you don't have like a long fight that you can play as Xayah. I think C tier. I think C tier. I'm gonna put her in C tier. I don't think I've ever put Xayah this low. I usually always put C tier higher. As Hamza said, man lie, women lie, numbers don't. Now that's what I'm talking about. Tristana. So Tristana, I'm not really sure. I've seen her quite a bit on mid lane. Not that much on bot lane. I think she's weaker because she also was a big Kraken enjoyer, and a lot of people are still going Kraken on her. Like, if you're still going Kraken now, that probably just means you're a little bit weaker than last patch, kind of, I think. I do think, though, if you get the 3 items, like if you get IE and Navori core, that should be pretty crazy. That should be pretty crazy. A lot of champions are pretty crazy on 3 items. You know, that's not too... Nearly every ADC at 3 items, it's like, whoa, Draven with BT, IE, Yuntal, one-shot. Whoa, Jhin with IE, Collector, Yuntal, Rapid Fire. That's 4 items. Whoa, Aphelios, whoa. You know, I think B tier. I think B tier. I think she's just like whatever. She's worse than Kog'Maw, I think. Worse than Kog'Maw. I think B tier. She also lost the chance to go lethal tempo. I think the new PTA should be fine on her. But also, like, she liked to go lethal tempo or Halo Blades in bot lane. And lethal tempo got removed, Halo Blades got nerfed. So then we have Twitch. I think Twitch is pretty good. Pretty good. Either B plus or A for sure. I feel like he... really likes like Bork, Hurricane, or Bork IE, and then like IE third or Hurricane third. Probably like Bork, Hurricane, IE. And once you hit those 3 items, I know I just said it about Tristana, but on Twitch, it's different because you hit those items and you actually just 1v9 the team fight. I don't think A tier. I don't think A tier. I think B plus. I think B plus. I don't think IE rush is really a thing on Twitch. I think like it's... You kind of need the stats from Bork. I mean, I guess if you have a really free lane and you get BF sword first, but even then, I just think like Bork is such a good item on Twitch most of the time. I think B plus for Twitch. Pretty good. Pretty damn good. I don't know if the new sudden impact is good on Twitch. I'm not really sure. Some people were saying it's really OP. Some people are saying it's fucking useless. Really heard mixed opinions. Does have higher win rate than Taste of Blood, but a bit hard to say. Next champ on the menu, Lucian. I think Lucian might be better. And especially now since Essence River got buffed. I feel like Lucian, I kind of want to, like, I haven't actually played Lucian yet, but I feel like I really should play Lucian because I feel like Lucian now with Essence River, this buffed Essence River, like it's now 70 AD. And if we look at Essence River cost analysis, right? This is showing the gold efficiency for the non-buffed Essence River. It's 141% gold efficiency. And so the buffed Essence River with 5 more AD is going to have what, like 175 more AD gold value. So it's like 145% gold efficiency. I mean, that's crazy. That is crazy. So I feel like if you get Navori IE on Lucian, that sounds like so much damage. You do still suffer from really low range. Maybe it's B tier. It's B tier or B plus. It's definitely not A tier, but I'm not sure if it's B or B plus. In my head, it's probably B tier. I think these 3 champions are all stronger than Lucian and are champs that I would rather play for Elo than Lucian. Yeah, I think so. I think B tier. I think B tier. And then we have Zeri. I thought Zeri would be really, really weak on this patch. She lost lethal tempo. She lost static shiv. It's no longer a crit item. It's also a dead item. I have not seen a single static shiv yet. I don't know if you guys have. I have not. There are a lot of people having a lot of really good success on Zeri. And one of them was rank 1 in Korea. I think it was, maybe it's this account, but it's rank 1 early season. So keep that in mind, right? I'm sure you guys all know that rank 1 in early season is not the same as normal season, but a build that's been popping up a lot in Korea, and it's very popular. If we look at multiple ADCs here, I'm pretty sure we're going to see the same build on all of them. Bork into Navori into IE. And this build, a lot of people have been doing very well with it. This guy has 73% win rate on it. This guy has 80% win rate on it. And this guy has, well, 50%. Well, anyways, it's still a champion that a lot of people in Korea are playing with pretty good results. So I do think that I was kind of off a little bit on how weak Zeri would be. I don't know, there always seems to be a way to make Zeri work, I guess. Her win rate is dog shit though. People are going static shiv still. I think less static shiv now than before, but I remember I looked at this on yesterday and there were so many people buying static shiv. Just crazy. So yeah, I do think with this Korean build, it looks pretty good. I think also another build that people have been talking to me about is the IE Seal Zeal build. We'll go over it a little bit more in the next section where we talk about builds. Is she OP though? I don't think I'd say she's OP. B+, I think. I feel like she slots very well into B+. Nah, B+. B+. If they're playing it in Korea, it must be good, right? Now Seraphine. I don't even want to do Seraphine. I don't know. Does anyone play Seraphine anymore? Should she even be on the list? What the fuck? She still has a crazy win rate? Guys, B+ is not weak. B+ is not weak. Like, everything that's above, like B+ and above, is really strong champs, in my opinion, that I'm, like, recommending you to play. Just because you see B, don't, like it could be A-. You can think of it as A-, practically. It's the same thing. Maybe I even rename it. I'm gonna rename it to A-, and then you're happy? Because then people understand that it's not fucking weak. It's not weak. Look, A-. Wow, these champs are OP. Actually, let's do like this. Now you fucking got it, huh? Boom. But I don't want to put the Aphelios in S. I think it's like this then, I guess. Now it sounds right. That looks more right. Yeah. I don't think Aphelios is S tier. I think I like this. I think Lucian deserves A tier. I know a lot of people say it's I mean, I'll have to play him. I'll play him and then we'll see, right? His win rate is pretty dog shit. 49. It doesn't seem crazy. Okay, Seraphine, fuck you. You can stay in D tier, actually. I lost her. I don't know how good Seraphine is ADC. I thought they killed her ADC and nobody plays it, no? Maybe she's actually not bad. Maybe she can even abuse Blackfire Torch because of Riot Games. Can she actually buy Blackfire Torch? Are people buying Blackfire Torch and winning? Oh, well, I'm in freak. We have to deal with Zeri, Seraphine. I guess put her A tier. 55% win rate. I mean, that's pretty crazy, actually. Okay, Ziggs. I think he's not the biggest abuser of Blackfire Torch, I think. Oh my god, terrible win rate. He's not the biggest abuser of Blackfire Torch. I think he's pretty bad. And like there's so many ADCs you can play into him now. ADCs are OP, so I'm gonna put him into C tier. Smolder. I guess for now, I'll put Smolder into C tier. But I truly believe that on this patch, there are only two D tier champs. Smolder and Ezreal. I think those are the two D tier champs. Smolder lost Essence River. He was already fucking bad. Got hotfix buffed. But the hotfix buff is so like, I don't know, like, oh, he got 2 AD. Oh, he got 30 HP. Smolder is saved. Smolder is saved. Like the Corki buffs are 1,000 times bigger than the Smolder buffs. You know, like the Corki buff is 20 damage, 50% AD ratio, 10% ult bonus AD ratio. He does, I guess, probably still buy Essence River, so maybe he's happy that Essence River is buffed. But overall, I just think Smolder is, you know, 43%, bro. That's like, I remember Disco Nunu had like 40% win rate or something at one point. Like 43% is just insanity. Like, I guess it's also because Essence River is dragging it down, but we're gonna put him into D tier, but right now D tier is too full, okay? It's full of like real champs that we need to rate first. Kalista, I think B tier. I think she's kind of sad about lethal tempo removal, and overall Draven just does a better job as a lane bully and stacking AD. I think the Bork on her is pretty decent, but overall, yeah. You make a new tier for Ezreal and Smolder? Let's do Ezreal as well then. So why the fuck is Ezreal trash now? Ezreal lost his Essence River, and a lot of people were coping to me, telling me, oh no, my streamer friend, it's fine. Essence River Ezreal buys a Trinity Force. It's really good. And then I just asked them, okay, if buying Trinity Force is so good, right? Let's see if it works and we can look at last patch. If buying Essence River, or if buying Trinity Force is so good on Ezreal, why is 80% of the people that play Ezreal buying Essence River right now? Probably there's still a lot of people buying Essence River that are pulling the win rate down. I mean, yeah, there's still a lot of people that are kind of troll building buying Essence River. So that's pulling the win rate down, but I do think that this champion is pretty fucking bad. But it's not just about Ezreal, that's the thing. So what you have to understand, all crit items get better, but Ezreal can't buy any crit items. Ezreal gets weaker because everybody else gets stronger while Ezreal remains the same. Even if Ezreal items that he can buy now didn't change, if everybody else can buy better items, Ezreal kind of sucks then. Then we have Nilah. So Nilah, she got a few benefits from this patch. She had got the bonus duo XP, which means that her passive now gives her like kind of even more XP. She gets a bigger lead and she'll now be able to nearly match the level of solo laners on like both her and the support. But she lost Navori with AD, which was kind of sad for her. I think she's weaker this patch. I'm not fully sure. I think the build is just like either like IE or Collector Rush, whatever you get first. Like if you, I guess, hit the items for IE, you can rush that. Otherwise you go Collector and then you go IE second and then Probably, I guess, just LDR third, something like that. I don't think she's crazy. I think something like this. I feel good about something like this. Something like this, yeah. Where like left is the strongest, right is the weakest. Nilah is a pretty good counter pick, but you're not usually counter picking that much on bot lane, and it's also just like she's so low range. She's countered by tanks. It's tough. Kai'Sa. I can't put Kai'Sa into GG tier, but I think Kai'Sa's C tier. I think she's kind of ass. I don't know why. I played her, and I thought to myself, wow, I'm gonna be strong. The new Kraken Slayer, 55 AD. It's gonna be crazy. I got my Kraken Slayer. I got my Q evolve. I was a fucking cannon minion, doing 0 fucking damage. 0. Unreal how fucking useless I felt. And then people are like in my chat being like, no, bro, you have to go with Collector Infinity Edge on Kai'Sa. And then it's like, oh yeah, I for sure, bro. If I want to go Collector Infinity Edge, I would not rather play Samira, Draven, Jhin, Nilah, MF, Caitlyn, fucking anything, you know? Like, why would I want to play a champion like Kai'Sa and then just buy only attack damage? And then it's like, okay, maybe there's an AP build we could go. But then we're back to the Ezreal argument, where if we are buying AP items, we are not benefiting at all out of the crit changes, while everybody else is having a great time with crit items. We gotta buy the same old boring ass AP items. And I don't think you can go Blackfire Torch on Kai'Sa. I don't think that's good. Luden's buffed? Actually, yeah. Actually, Luden's is buffed. Luden's is buffed. That's true. But everything, like, it's like small, you know? It's small. It's small. And then we have Samira. So Samira got hotfix nerfed like Draven. She's definitely a really good loyal pick. She's really good into squishy comps with low CC, but I didn't think she was like OP when she got hotfix nerfed. She's definitely like B+ or A. Her stats are pretty impressive. Too, but it's probably gonna go down to like 51. I think B+, or I think B. I guess we don't have B+ anymore. I think B. I think it's A tier if you have a duo. I agree with that. I think Samira, really duo reliant champ. If you're playing with an engaged support duo that can play Rel or Nautilus every game, and if you play good on Samira, hey, you're gonna have a good time, beast. You're gonna have a good time. The problem is that when you play solo queue, you're not matched with persons. You're matched with Janna or Senna creatures. I wouldn't give them the liberty, honor to call them people. They are creatures. And if you have them, Samira's just not a good pick. Samira doesn't work well with Janna, it doesn't work well with Senna, it doesn't work well with Soraka, it doesn't work well with any of these dog shit enchanters that suck anyways, but, you know, the creatures gotta play. I think B tier. And then we have Caitlyn. I think Caitlyn S tier. Really good with high AD. The new first strike seems pretty good. I don't think Z tier. I think Draven is only Z tier for me. Of course I'm biased because I'm a Draven player. If you ask any Draven player and they don't say Draven is the most OP champion in the game, they're kidding you. You know what Hansama said Draven was? He said the most OP champion in the game, and that was like 3 months ago. And it's like someone asked him, was like, why do you play Draven so much? He's like, I just think it's the most OP champion in the game. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. I agree. It's just the most OP champion in the game. So, but Caitlyn, maybe the second most champion OP in the game. I think, like, okay, so if you don't play Draven, for you, this is gonna be like the Z tier, right? You can just think of them as kind of the similar strength. I just think Draven is a little bit better, you know, Not a great day to mention on Summer Draven. We don't have to worry about that, beast. We don't have to worry about that. I mean, people got bad games, so like, I don't know. It's whatever, right? But Caitlyn is really strong. I think the new first strike is pretty good. At least when I played it, I got like 100 gold at like 7 minutes, 10 minutes. It definitely scales worse on the old first strike, but gold is more important in the early game. And you know, that's a pretty good trade-off to me. I think Caitlyn has like really good high AD builds, and we'll talk more about the build later. But overall, really strong job. Then we have MF, which I feel like in my head, she should be really OP. But nobody's really talking about her. I would think like you could even do like BT rush, and that would be pretty fucking good on MF. You get like the perma W uptime. I remember it used to be a thing with old MF. And overall, just going like, you know, collector, IE, LDR, and you just got like so much AD, so much damage. Should be really strong in my head at least. But I haven't faced it a single time, and I also haven't played it. It's a bit hard for me to judge. Maybe I'm just kind of forced to put it in B tier until I play it myself. But maybe it's A tier. What do you have? Whatever. Do we think it's A tier? Stronger than Zeri? I think B tier. I think high B tier alongside Samira. She's good though. She's definitely good. Maybe I'm wrong and she's a bit higher. And then we have Vayne. So Vayne, she lost lethal tempo. She doesn't really build crit. I mean, you can build crit, but then it's kind of like, it's kind of going back to the Kai'Sa thing, you know? Like, why are we playing Vayne to buy crit and full AD? when we could play Jhin, Caitlyn, MF, Samira, Lucian, Draven, anything, you know, that really benefits off of buying high AD. I think B, maybe even C. She lost Stormmeister. I mean, whether you go fleet or lethal tempo on Vayne was like situational, you know, like if they were tanky, you would go lethal tempo. Still has decent scaling, but if we look at this list of ADCs, nearly every ADC has pretty good scaling here. So it's like, I think she belongs in this tier. She's just kind of like a bit weaker from these changes. Or she gets shit on by a lot of these champs, yeah. Then we have Ashe. Ashe is not bad. I mean, she lost lethal tempo. Probably still go Kraken. A for Ashe. I always put Ashe A just because she's like a strong lane bully. I don't know if I want to put Ashe A. Well, this is the hardest tier list I've ever made. I feel like I properly rate things. I think she's pretty good. She's also pretty good into a lot of these champs that are up here. I kind of agree with you guys. She's pretty good into Aphelios. She's pretty good into Draven. Pretty good into like Caitlyn. Like fine into Jhin. I don't know about into Twitch. Don't think I've ever even seen that matchup. I want the Aphelios to be #1 on A though. I mean, she's not good into Jhin, but it's just like whatever matchup. It's just whatever matchup. I think pretty good still. Definitely like does suffer a bit from losing lethal tempo, but I think she's one of the champs that can actually delay her crit because how like her passive works, right? While a lot of other champions are forced to buy crit first item. So that makes her able to still like buy Kraken when a lot of other champions that would want to buy Kraken, like Kais or like Xayah or Tristana, kind of aren't able to. Then we have Karthus. Not fully sure where Karthus lands after the changes to the Blackfire Torch. If Blackfire Torch is still a really OP item, which it might be, I could definitely see it still being a really OP item, then I think Karthus is S tier. If Blackfire Torch is now kind of a bad item, then I think Karthus is more like A tier or something like that. He does have a really crazy win rate both on jungle and on bot lane. Until that win rate goes down, it's a bit hard to say though, because you can see like we don't really have stats of after the hotfix, right? It's a bit hard to say. Just like 57% win rate, you gotta put him S tier, no? Like stats wise, it's C tier. That's why it's just legit the craziest stats like you've seen in a while. Maybe it's actually like this. Okay, then we got Sivir. I think maybe stays in D tier, honestly. I think maybe stays in D tier. I always kind of had a hate boner for Sivir, and that one's only grown. I think she's even more useless now. But like, who would I want to play instead of Sivir? I want to play all of these instead of Sivir, right? Stuff is so nice. Sivir is so nice to stuff like not as Vi. In situationally, she can be fine, but Sivir is definitely not B tier. How can Sivir be B tier when she has like a 48% win rate? With like probably it's only the hardcore Sivir fanatics that are playing her. She has 3% pick rate. Not even they can make her fucking work. Sivir stays D tier. I make the rules. Would you really play Seraphine over Sivir? I mean, I personally wouldn't play Seraphine over Sivir. I would play all these champions over Seraphine. Statistically, Sivir is worse than Xayah. That's true. That's fair. Brand. I think S tier. But nobody's gonna play him probably. But I think he's fucking OP with this item as well. Let's put him in S tier. Yes, we do something like this. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like that these mages are up here. But I think they're OP. I mean, 55% win rate. I think they're pretty fucking strong. Then we have the last bit of the bunch. The last champion to be rated is Senna. And I do think Senna shouldn't really be like, I mean, this is looking pretty bad right here. Why would you play Senna ADC right now? Because you don't have a duo to play fasting. Are we rating Senna ADC or Senna fasting? I think Senna fasting is still probably like B tier at least. Like Senna fasting is pretty decent. But Senna farming? Are we farming on the Senna? Then we might put it next to fucking Sivir. She gets so much less souls now because the relic shield doesn't count towards the soul cap. And also like she kind of still wants to buy lethality because she wants to go like longswords and shit. Then she has to buy like IE, but then it's like other champions could buy it. But it's still not, maybe it's C tier. Maybe we'll leave Sivir alone. Nah, we put her in D. We put her in D. Take it nice and right.